Yo. Hey everybody, it's time to swing. We're still swinging, and I'm your host, Thomas. And today, family, look, they killing me. Them headphones blowing me because I don't know. The programming with these headphones. But then I ain't gonna be. All right, family. So what we got up today is, look, Lil Durk situation keep getting worse. All right, look, he going to court. You know what I'm saying? And he looking for the win, and he can't do nothing but lose at this point. All right, them lawyers keep lying to him. All right, his situation not gonna get better. All right, Young Thug, he out here on borrowed time. All right, he begging to get back in Atlanta, which let me know he begging to get back the right street. All right, YSL Woody, he doing his thing. And for extra, he went to addressing Wack 100. So family, without further ado, I'm going to jump into this and we going to get it popping, right? We going to get it started with Lil Durk because he up first. You know what I'm saying? And this just a little of what's going on with him right now. You know what I mean? Because the brother, he in a bad situation. He in a lot worse situation than he want to believe he in. So look, let me just add this and we going to see what's popping.
longtime friend's murder, gets another setback in his case. Durk Banks, better known by his stage name Lil Durk, has been behind bars since October, accused of being the mastermind behind a plot to kill Georgia rapper Quando Rondo, whose real name is Taekwon Bowman. Quando Rondo, along with his sister and cousin, were ambushed and shot at in Los Angeles, California in August of 2022. While Quando Rondo and his sister survived the attack, his cousin was murdered in the hail of gunfire. But that case goes back further than that, as prosecutors say it all stemmed from a 2020 shooting that left another rapper, who was also the close friend and frequent collaborator of Lil Durk, dead. According to Lil Durk's federal indictment, prosecutors say on November 6 of 2020, a man named DB, who was a high-ranking member of Lil Durk's Only the Family, or OTF, and the friend of Lil Durk, got into a fight with another person identified in the indictment as TB. The indictment says an associate of TB pulled out a gun and shot DB multiple times, killing him. Now, the indictment doesn't have the full names of TB or DB, but the circumstances match the November 6, 2020 shooting death of rapper King Von, whose real name is Davon Bennett. And of course, we know Quando Rondo's real name to be Taekwon Bowman. So where does Lil Durk come into play here? Well, federal prosecutors say after King Von's murder, Lil Durk wanted revenge. According to the indictment, Banks made clear in coded language that he would pay a bounty to anyone who took part in killing Quando Rondo for...
Let me tell you something, family. First of all, Lil Durk did not want revenge. He did not. He was happy King Von was gone. All right? That solved a lot of his issue. All right? But the problem was the same reason he needed King Von. That's the same reason he had the revenge for King Von. The ghetto in his comments. All right, listen. You want to be a tough guy? You think you're going to be sliding through the ghetto smoking Tuka? You're going to need King Von. You're going to need OTF Jam. The problem is, them niggas tougher than you.
For his role in King Von's murder. That all came to a head nearly 2 years later on August 18th of 2022, when Banks, his alleged co-conspirators, and co-defendants tracked down Quando Rondo to Los Angeles. The indictment names Banks' co-defendants as Kevon London Grant, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston. Prosecutors say on August 18th of 2022, after the men learned where Quando Rondo was in LA, at the direction of Lil Durk, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, Houston, and another co-conspirator traveled from Chicago to Los Angeles to murder Quando Rondo. Meanwhile, Lil Durk and Kevon Grant traveled on a private jet from Miami to LA allegedly to help coordinate the murder. That same day, Banks allegedly texted co-conspirator 3, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." But the feds say that same co-conspirator purchased the plane tickets using an OTF credit card. The unnamed co-conspirator 3 also allegedly confirmed to DeAndre Wilson through text that Wilson, Jones, and Lindsay had the same airline ticket confirmation. And Wilson messaged a friend on Instagram saying, "On my way to LA." From there, Kevon Grant allegedly purchased 4 black ski masks from a sporting goods store, but used cash to pay. But seemingly messed up when he allegedly used another OTF credit card to rent a hotel for the co-conspirators. Prosecutors say after Grant met with the co-conspirators, he gave Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and another unnamed co-conspirator firearms, including a firearm that was modified to operate as a machine gun. From there, Grant allegedly provided 2 cars for himself, Lindsay, Wilson, Jones, Houston, and another co-conspirator to find and kill Quando Rondo. The following day, using a BMW and Infiniti allegedly rented by Grant, the men tracked down Quando Rondo first to a marijuana dispensary, then to a clothing store. But it would be an LA gas station that would be the site of the deadly crime. According to the indictment, Asa Houston drove the Infiniti to an alley behind the Beverly gas station, then parked the car so Jones, Lindsay, and unnamed co-conspirator 2 could attempt to murder Quando Rondo. Prosecutors say the men shot at Quando Rondo's car.
Family, they picked a terrible spot, didn't they?
But ended up killing his cousin who was standing next to Quando's car. Then the men fled and went to a local burger joint to discuss payment. The same day Quando's cousin was killed, prosecutors
it was a terrible idea.
Say an OTF credit card was used to purchase plane tickets from San Diego back to Chicago for Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, Houston, and co-conspirator 2. Fast forward to October of 2024, prosecutors say Lil Durk allegedly tried to flee the United States and booked plane tickets to several different countries, including Italy, Switzerland, and Dubai, but didn't board the plane for any of the flights. Instead, he was arrested near Miami International Airport. And even though Lil Durk isn't accused of pulling the trigger, he faces the same charges as the other men, including 1 count of conspiracy, 1 count of use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and 1 count of using, carrying, and discharging firearms and a machine gun and possession of such firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death, all of which he pleaded not guilty to. Surprisingly, his trial was slated for January 7th, just 3 months after his arrest, but that date was pushed back to October 14th of this year. It all comes weeks after an unsealed affidavit filed by an FBI agent alleged Lil Durk was involved in another murder for hire plot. That affidavit reportedly cites texts and social media posts from 2 people discussing the payment from Lil Durk for the 2022.
Who think he gonna beat it? Put a 1 in the chat if he gonna beat it, and put a 2 in the chat if it's no.
Murder of 24-year-old Stefan Mack, who was alleged to be a gangster disciples leader. The agent alleges Lil Durk was offering money for people to kill those responsible for his brother's murder. Lil Durk hasn't been criminally charged for that alleged murder for hire plot. However, prosecutors did use that affidavit as evidence to get Lil Durk's request for bail denied. And he, as well as his co-defendants, remain behind bars since their respective arrests. But all of them are facing a hefty sentence, the rest of their life in prison, if convicted. So much to unpack, so let's bring on now criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Safa Robinson Ferrer. Safa, it's always great to see you. First I have to ask your reaction to this whole case. Lil Durk is a Grammy Award-winning artist, but federal prosecutors allege that he's this mastermind behind the plot to kill Quando Rondo in retaliation for his friend King.
Family, put a 1 in the chat if you think Durk got a chance of winning this case. If you don't think he got a chance, put a 2 in the chat.
King Von's death. What are your thoughts about this case overall?
It's not surprising to see an indictment come about as a result of that. I think that there have been rumors and talks in the industry for years with regard to Lil Durk and his position with respect to his friend King Von's death and anything that may have been retaliatory in nature. So this is not the first time that I'm hearing of these alleged acts as an attorney, but this is certainly the first time that we now have an indictment alleging these specific acts against him. And what we've seen, in more recent times is that law enforcement is going after individuals who are high-profile individuals or celebrities and rappers in essentially prosecuting them. We saw that in the Young Thug case. We see that in this case now. We see that in the Sean Diddy Combs case. So we're seeing this a lot more frequently as of lately.
Yeah, and reading through this federal indictment against Lil Durk, it seems like there's a lot of evidence stacked against him, from the text messages to the use of credit cards and other kind of trails of evidence. What do you make of that, given if you are going to orchestrate something terrible like this, that you might try a little harder to kind of cover your tracks?
They say cash is king. When you use electronics and you use credit cards and things of that nature, you're leaving a paper trail all the time. Even when you use social media, you may think that a video has disappeared because you've used Snapchat. It has not disappeared. It has been preserved and made available for law enforcement. And so essentially here in this case, there are allegations that...
I wish he would have made a better decision. If he would have just made a better decision.
Credit cards were used that were associated with Lil Durk. Also transportation via airplanes, rental cars, and things like that the government was ultimately allowed the government to tie these things to him. And so in cases like this, of course, I would never recommend doing anything like this, but always remember that you are leaving a paper trail anytime you use an electronic, a cell phone, a computer, a credit card, or anything like that.
Hey, for all you business owners or anyone who wants to start a side hustle, I want to take a quick second and tell you about something that can really level up your business game. And it's Odoo.com and their really cool accounting app. So if you want to take control of your finances and make your accounting life a lot just a murder for hire plot. Quando Rondo's cousin was actually killed in this ambush in 2022. Do you think that's why federal prosecutors are after Lil Durk too, and not just kind of the men who are allegedly accused of kind of being the trigger pullers in this case? Do you think, had Quando Rondo's cousin survived the attack or not been shot and killed, that they would be after Lil Durk too?
I think that they would have been after him regardless. Like I said, there have always been rumors in the industry with regard to his possible acts and things of that nature. And so
That ain't gonna help him. I mean, he if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have been the act. Okay, he paid for the act to occur.
again, it
That's what they accusing him of.
doesn't come as a surprise here. One of the things the government charged here is conspiracy, and they're alleging that OTF, or Only the Family, is essentially this umbrella of an organization that engages in criminal activity or a pattern of criminal behavior, including the murder for hire. They're alleging that Lil Durk is the primary principal who is essentially instructing other individuals to commit these acts. And so certainly they would be going after him, not only the trigger pullers and anybody else who may be lower level.
And, Lil Durk has been behind bars now since October. His trial was supposed to kind of start relatively soon, but now it's pushed back to October of this year. I want to ask you, what do you think the federal trial against Lil Durk could look like, given what appears to be this overwhelming kind of evidence against him?
I expect his trial to more than likely be months long. It could take anywhere from a month to a few months. I think it was a good move on the defense end to adjourn the trial out so that they can get through all of the discovery. They can continue through their investigations and things of that nature. And they really want to bulletproof their defense. And adjourning the trial till October really gives them an opportunity to do that. Now, of course, Lil Durk doesn't want to sit there. Nobody wants to sit, in prison or incarceration. But I think that was the best move necessary to protect his rights. As far as the trial and what that will look like, I expect that there's going to be a lot of evidence that the government's going to be using. I think that they're going to try to go at this in the way that the prosecution went after Young Thug and his group, and do a prosecution that includes all of the defendants and at one trial, or consolidate the defendants into one proceeding because of the amount of evidence and the witnesses that they would use. So I expect that, but I expect Durk's attorneys to really go after the prosecution in this case. And while they're trying to point together and pin together these alleged acts that have spanned, I think, since the initial 2020 incident.
That's what's going on with Durk right now. His lawyers, family, they lying to him. They robbing him right now. And I'm telling you, Durk getting sued from a lot of companies because he got a lot of financial obligations that he can't fulfill because he in jail. Okay? Listen, they suing him. They gonna get their money from him.
Shooting incident, the defense is going to attack it each and every step of the way.
Do you think prosecutors will use music and his own lyrics kind of against him in trial?
I am expecting that is going to happen. And I personally, as a defense attorney, have a significant issue with that. We have a First Amendment right here in the United States. And
family, at least with Young Thug, his case was a state RICO case and not a federal RICO case. See, that's a big difference. You know what I'm saying, family? The difference is this. Like that Young Thug RICO case, that's why states don't try RICO cases. They seen how hard it is to try a RICO case. The reason why the federal government don't have a problem trying a RICO case with all the work that go into a RICO case is this. The feds, they only take the cases that they want. The state, they got to deal with all the crimes of that state. So they can't spend all of these resources on a RICO when the federal government, see, they just choosing their cases. So they can spend all the resources focusing on you, nigga, once they choose you.
the freedom of speech and the ability to create art through those lyrics has been used, as an attack on that First Amendment right and privilege. Now, it may not be as much of a protected speech as other forms of speech, but that's an issue here. Artists want to be able to create without having to defend themselves for their creations later. But I do expect that the government is going to try to take that angle in this case.
And I have to ask, say Lil Durk is your client. What kind of defenses are you going to be using, especially in a federal trial case like this?
On a case like this, if I was Dirk's attorney, my client is not as involved as the government would like them to allege. All my client does here is he's a rapper. He runs this organization, but it's an organization that's geared towards music and in the music industry. We do hear, lyrics of violence and things like that in the music industry. And again, that is a creative work that should be protected and is protected by the United States Constitution and copyright law. The government
Hit that like button for me, family.
government's making a significant stretch trying to tie him into this murder for hire plot. And ultimately, what the government's trying to do is hold somebody responsible for this death, but the person responsible is not Lil Durk. Whether they want to go after, the co-defendant who allegedly fired the firearm or killed that individual, that's a conversation for another day. But my client, he's a businessman. He has other matters that he's tending to. He has other matters that he needs to tend to. So them trying to rope him in, just like they've been doing to other, artists in as of recently, is not something that we'd allow to happen. And we would fight that case at each and every stage.
Yeah, and I was kind of to piggyback off that.
See, that's the kind of stuff them lawyers in there telling them. That nonsense she just said. She just said a bunch of nothing that would never help him. Okay, none of that, what she said, is a defense for him. Okay, listen. You listen to that stuff and you see why our young guys who got some money seem to think that they can have a behavior like this and just go on with their lives. He really believed that he could do something like that and just go head on with his life because he don't know how real it is until now. You see, Young Thug, he had the privilege of seeing how real it is. So he learned. Okay, the last thing he know place he want to be is in that cell. And one thing he learned is no matter how much money he got, it ain't gonna get him out of that fucking cell.
That answer there, it seems like for fans of Lil Durk, it does seem like, another great artist is taken up by the system, especially after appearing to get your life together, then, allegedly by your own actions, get into something like this. But what do you make of what feels like the seeming downfall of Lil Durk and not kind of leaving the streets behind?
It's very unfortunate. And sometimes, as you grow into new positions, he's a celebrity, he has notoriety, he has a family. We have to change people, places, and things around us. We can't do the same thing and expect a different result. So while, he has exceeded and excelled in his professional career, it's always important to be mindful of the people that you keep around. And sometimes, unfortunately, people don't leave.
See, that's the thing, family. He ain't want to be mindful of the people that he keep around. You know what I'm saying? It's this saying, right? It's you lay down with dogs and you wake up with fleas, because some things just go together, like peanut butter and jelly. So do crime and punishment. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you commit a crime, you're going to get punished for it when you get caught. Nigga, you ain't just gonna walk in there and say it wasn't me and walk back out of there. That might be how it went in the rap, but that's not how it's gonna go in real life. I'm telling you.
Leave the streets behind, and them doing so.
Yo, you gotta be very careful what a company you keep, okay? Because the company you keep gonna expect you to stick to a street code. But trust me, your company not gonna stick to no fucking street code when it come down to it. He just needs you to believe he will, so you will. All right? But I'm telling you, you're gonna find OTF Jams and you're gonna find King Vons. King Von's stupid out of his mind. Okay, that's how he got his life taken, bro. King Von got his life taken being stupid out of his mind. Okay, he asked for what happened to him that night. Lord Durk knew that. Okay, the reason why Lord Durk had to respond to that, the ghetto was in his comments, telling him he needed to slide for Von. All right, because Durk would have never made a decision like that on his own. He not that kind of guy. Look at Durk history. He rapped. He was a rapper. Okay, OTF Jam wasn't no rapper. King Von wasn't no rapper. They was out here getting busy. Lord Durk was rapping. He thought he was just going to share the money and everybody was going to be happy and he would be the man. No, 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 no. You ain't never going to be the man in the eyes of a nigga like King Von. You a sissy. And a sissy don't tell me shit. You ain't never going to be the man in the eyes of a OTF Jam. You a sissy. And a sissy don't tell OTF Jam shit. You see what I'm saying, family? Like those kind of people don't tell gangsters nothing. He is a rapper. That's why Reese end up choking him out. He start playing that bullshit, and they don't want to hear that. You know you a chump. All right, but look, it's cool. But you see what Chief Keef did? That's what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to take the guys that he could have took, and the rest of them left them to do their thing because he knew they was going to self-destruct. And somebody was talking to Chief Keef and told Chief Keef, look, these people don't love you. You see what they just did to you. They robbed your house. The first time you felt like you don't need to take care of them, they gonna show you that you don't have a right to tell them no. You see, when King Von said the reason why they robbed Chief Keef's house was because Chief Keef told them he was going to give them some bail money for some nigga, and he never gave it to him. That's why he never gave it to him. Because the stuff that they robbed Chief Keef for, they end up selling and coming up with the bail money. They still didn't get that nigga out. You feel me? That's just was game they was running, trying to get some money from him. You feel me? They wasn't going to get that nigga out. But the fact that he never gave them the money, they came and robbed this house. So what the ghetto telling you? The ghetto telling you, you either going to have to hurt somebody or somebody going to hurt you. So you know what? Chief Keef said, later for this. I'm out of here. I ain't got to do this. He went to Calabasas. He larger than life. Lord Durk in jail on his way to the penitentiary for trying to prove to the ghetto that he really a G when he not really a G. Because if he was really a G, he would have prayed to been Lord Durk and got the fuck away from that little ass slice of hell right there in Chicago called 300 in O Block. You see the first thing he did when he got some money? He got straight the fuck away from there because ain't nothing there to see. That's the stuff nightmares are made of. Don't nobody aspire to live in O Block. Only people that aspire to live in O Block is people that don't gotta live in O Block. Because when you gotta live in the trenches, you hate the fucking trenches. You don't think nothing special about the fucking trenches. The minute we get something, we buy triplex condominiums. We get the fuck away from there. I ain't going to go back there for what? Why the fuck you think I got away from there? You think they love me? They don't love me. They want to rob and steal from me. Why? Because I won't give them shit. And in the ghetto, if you ain't gonna give them shit, you ain't gonna stay here. You gonna stay here, it's gonna be a problem. Trust me. And listen, if you gonna run through the ghetto smoking Tuka, you gonna need King Von. You're gonna need OTF Jam. See, because they can back the ghetto up off of you. They can back the ghetto up off of you, but they come at a price, nigga, that you can't pay. I'm telling you, you can't afford it. Lil Durk is paying the price, the cost of those friends. That's how much those kinds of friends cost.
As a part of a safety and a
Nigga, you can't afford it.
coping mechanism for the things that they've previously experienced in their lives, but you have to protect yourself and your family first. So it's very unfortunate that he's in this situation. Hopefully he's able to overcome this with the help of his attorneys.
Yeah, and I guess we'll kind of have to wait and see how this all continues to unfold and play out. Safa, I want to thank you so much for your time today. But before we sign you off, though, where do you think that everything kind of goes from here in terms of the trial process? And do you think that an October date will be the October date for the trial?
I think the October date will be the date for the trial unless there's a reason to adjourn it and maybe some attorney scheduling. But from here on out, we're in trial preparation mode. We're interviewing witnesses. We're getting through that discovery.
Where he at right now, family, that's where he gonna be. He gonna be sitting. All right? It's over for that guy. Family, you don't bring that many people to do nothing. Can nothing happen from involving that many people but a disaster? Okay, it was a rush job. Okay, he had some dudes from Chicago who the furthest they ever been from that block is to jail, the prison. That's the furthest they ever been from O Block. And you got these niggas in LA following some people around with guns looking for a location to do something like that to them over some idiot that did everything he could to lose his life. And then y'all got mad when somebody obliged him. Okay, he was begging to die. Okay, somebody just obliged that nigga. It was going to eventually happen. Because that's what eventually happened to all them tough ass niggas. Because it's somebody tougher than you. It's somebody who don't believe you that tough. It's somebody just like you, waiting for you. All right, everywhere you go. Nigga, you ain't that tough. Okay? And I know you think, oh man, he from Baltimore. How the hell he? Listen, I don't care where you go on this planet, and I've been around. Trust me, I've been around, nigga. Niggas is gonna be niggas. All right? I know you think them niggas where you stay tougher than the niggas where I stay. You think them niggas special? No, they ain't. They all the same. Wherever you go, niggas think they tough. They all think they tough. All right? That shit don't change. That attitude don't change. They broke as a motherfucker, but tough.
We're exploiting the evidence and essentially saying, and one of the things the prosecution always likes to do is they like to say, this person did this for this reason, when there's a whole separate explanation as to why something may or may not have been done. But you only get that one prosecution vision or side of the story until, as the defense, we're able to tell our own story. And so I'm sure that his attorneys are preparing to tell that story for him.
All right, Safa, again, thank you so much for your insight into this case. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Durk Banks.
Okay, shout out to that. Shout out to Durk. You know what I'm saying? I hope the youngster find a way to find some peace with himself. But I'm telling you right now, family, one day that brother gonna grow up and he gonna see what he done to himself. He gonna see that he traded that life he had for this life he got. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't gonna measure up. Okay, he gonna see that he would have did a whole lot better if he would have left OTF Jam and King Von in the ghetto and went and do what Chief Keef did. All right, we moving right along, family. The Young Thug.
have followed the YSL trial as both sides hammered out potential plea deals behind closed doors. And earlier today, an agreement was reached. And when the exact terms of the deal fell through, it fell to the judge to determine the fate of Jeffrey Williams.
Both sides presented their final arguments to Judge Whitaker. Here's a breakdown of this complicated sentence. What was originally a 5-year sentence was modified by the judge to time served, meaning the 2.5 years Young Thug has already spent in jail was good enough. Today, he starts 15 years on probation. Hanging over his head is a 20-year sentence. If he stays out of trouble during probation, that sentence will also be commuted. Now, the judge reminded Young Thug his words and actions are broadcasted on a global stage.
I know you're talented, and even if you choose to continue to rap, you need to try to use your influence to let kids know that that is not the way to go.
In her parting words, the judge also reminded Williams of the consequences that await him if he violates that probation.
Okay, court is adjourned. Good luck to you. And I'm going.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat, family. The Django off the chain. Salute, my brother. Thanks for pulling up. I appreciate your support. He said, facts. When I grew out of that, I said, damn, I was living backwards on my way to death and non-worthiness for my family. Yeah, bro, that's how it be when we living like that. We don't understand that one day we gonna grow up and understand that that was some bullshit, some straight dumb shit.
Going to have any, there better be no violations, but if there are any, you're coming back to see me.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Technically, the YSL trial is not over. That's because 2 co-defendants rejected plea deals today. As for Young Thug, the world is watching his next move as he starts a new chapter in life.
Fox 5's Rob Durienzo was outside the courtroom gathering reaction from Young Thug's defense team. He joins us now from the Fulton County Jail on Rice Street. Rob, we understand the Young Thug, Jeffrey Williams, has been released.
Hey there, guys. Good evening to you both. Well, just a short time ago, Jeffrey Williams, whose stage name is Young Thug.
See what I'm saying? And then Young Thug, he keeps saying he beat the Rico. Bro, you didn't beat the Rico at all. All right? When you said, I want to sip some lean, judge said I'm not allowed that. If you beat the Rico, the judge can't tell you shit. The only time the judge can tell you you're not allowed that is when you didn't beat the goddamn Rico. Okay, you idiot. He begging to get back into Atlanta. The last place he need to be. He know they waiting, but he don't know they waiting for his ass. He know if he fuck up in this next 15 years, he gonna serve that 24 years. They can't wait. He begging to get back into Atlanta, right? Knowing Atlanta, listen, he don't understand how he made them look if he's begging to get back into Atlanta. They waiting for his ass. They licking their chops. They gonna make something happen for him. All right, they got a cake baked for him. If he better stay the fuck away from Atlanta if he know what I know.
Left the Fulton County Jail somewhat of a free man. As you mentioned, he's going to be on the next 15 years on probation. Meanwhile, we heard reaction from his attorneys on the steps of the courthouse. Take a listen.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. The Django off the chain said, beat the Rico with damn near life on probation, hard as it is for a brother. Bro, I mean, listen, bro, listen. And the kind of probation he got, bro, I mean, listen, it ain't no light work, okay? And for him, they gonna make it hell. They gonna make it hell for him, family. They gonna make that probation hell for him. You know what he did to them? You know what he did to them, right? They gonna make that probation hell. They need him to fail. You know how bad they need him to fail? They need him to fail as bad as he need to win. We gonna see who will the strongest.
This was not what I wanted. I don't believe that it is just, but I believe that under these circumstances, it is justice for Jeffrey Williams, and he is delighted, as are we. I'm thankful.
Rapper Young Thug headed home after pleading guilty to gang, drug, and gun charges in the YSL RICO case. He did so without a deal from the district attorney's office.
Negotiations totally broke down with the district attorney's office. Horribly broke down.
We ultimately decided we were going to put our faith in the court as opposed to the folks on the other side of the aisle.
The judge warning the 33-year-old Grammy-winning artist, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, that he could be locked up again if he violates the terms of his sentence. Outside the courthouse, his father telling cameras he still thinks they could have won the trial.
I feel great that he's going home, but at the same token, I still wanted to fight.
If Williams successfully completes the 15 years of probation, the rest of his sentence will be commuted to time served. But he can't step foot in Metro Atlanta for the next 10
He still wanted to fight, family, because he wasn't the one sitting in jail. That's why he still wanted to fight. His daddy still wanted to fight because his son was somehow still finding a way to take care of his ass while he was in jail. All right? But his son was in jail losing everything. And you got a nigga like his father telling him he should still fight while he free. Working the fucking $20 job, trying to tell his son, who got millions and just had to spend it all on this bullshit, and still trying to take care of y'all while he going through this bullshit. And you got a nigga like that trying to tell him he should stay in jail and fight. His father don't understand what's at stake. His father got a point to prove. No, your son need to get the fuck out of jail and get back to his business, because it ain't gonna get no better for him than what the fuck is in front of him, this deal. Because he not gonna get found innocent. They'll take his ass back through that shit first, and he can't afford to do it again, and they know it.
years, with certain exceptions.
It's a scary feeling for all involved. There's probably no feeling quite like that other than sitting in a courtroom waiting for a jury to come out.
Just before 8:30 p.m. Thursday night, Jeffrey Williams' inmate status in the Fulton County Jail log indicated he was released. The trial was plagued with problems and errors from prosecutors. But criminal defense attorney Joshua Schiffer, who already had on his Halloween costume, says in this outcome, there was no clear winner.
Both. Check this out, family. We ain't got long to go before we get to the next one, right? This nigga begging to get back into Atlanta. This damn fool.
Sides gave up something, some more than others. There's a lot of valuations that are really tough to understand unless you're sitting in the shoes of the state or of those defendants, looking at the conditions and what's on the table.
And guys, the judge also ordered Williams to be back in Atlanta at least 4 times a year to give an anti-gang presentation to children. Meanwhile, those remaining 2 defendants he spoke about, they're due back in court on Monday morning at 9 a.m. Live at the Rice.
Okay, family. So, you know, that was the deal, right? So here's what's up.
A little more than a month after rapper Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, pleaded guilty, his attorneys now want one of the big conditions of his sentence to change.
In October, Young Thug was given probation, and one of the conditions banned him from being in Metro Atlanta for 10 years. But his legal team believes that should be removed. Fox 5's Tyler Fingert has the details.
I plead guilty. Rapper Young Thug made the bold decision Halloween night to give up his right to a jury trial in the middle of his trial and change his plea to guilty. The Grammy-winning rapper admitted to guns, drugs, and street gang charges.
I take full responsibility for, my crimes.
Fulton County Superior Court Judge Paige Reese Whitaker sentenced Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, to 15 years of probation and banned him from the Atlanta area for 10 years. Last week, after the final 2 YSL defendants were found not guilty of the most serious charges they faced, Young Thug's dad said his son's guilty plea was his own choice.
No regrets, you know what I'm saying? He did what he felt like he wanted to do. So he's grown, he made his own decision.
Just days after this interview, his son's attorneys filed filed a motion to amend his sentence. They want Young Thug to be able to reside and visit his Atlanta home so that he can, quote, have family gatherings for holidays and other lawful reasons with his family, friends, and business associates. The motion says the Fulton County Chief Probation Officer has no problem with changing the sentence.
The question will be whether Paige Reese Whitaker objects to this amendment more than probation. Just because probation has agreed to an amendment or doesn't object to an amendment doesn't mean that the judge is going to go along with that.
Wednesday afternoon, Judge Whitaker did modify Young Thug's special conditions. In her order, she wrote, quote, if there are no violations of probation within the first 3 years, Mr. Williams can thereafter visit his home for up to 2 weeks at a time, up to 4.
Family. This nigga went and fought them people to go back into the lion's den. Which tell me he don't understand what he done. He's supposed to say, fuck that house in Atlanta. Okay? Listen, he the last place he want to be is anywhere near Atlanta. They got the most to gain. All right? Family, he did that to them in front of the world. All right? He did this shit to them on TV in front of the world. He don't know what he done to them if he fought to get back to be able to go back to Atlanta. Because that's the last place. They got a cake baked for his ass. Trust me, they gonna get him. He's stupid. He not thinking. Okay? Whoever talking to him, they not saying the right things, or he not listening, and he ain't learned shit where he was just at. See, what he should have, I thought he would have learned most of all is that no matter how much money you got, it ain't going to get you out of that fucking cell. It's not. Okay, I've been there, family, and I had loads of money. It wasn't going to get me out of that cell. Okay, I could have paid any bond. Okay, it didn't matter what the bond was. I would have been able to pay it. They don't give a fuck how much money you got. You ain't coming out of here. They said no. That's how they treat you. Believe that. All right. So you learn that it's some situations that if you go get yourself into, all the money in the world ain't going to be able to move you. All right, ain't none of that shit gonna help you. You go get yourself into some situations. All right, and a lot of our young men, they go get themselves in these situations because these women raise them, fellas. And they really believe they just gonna walk the fuck in there and tell them people they ain't do it. It wasn't me. And they believe that they gonna walk back out of there until they walk in there and see that shit ain't gonna get them out. Get them out of nothing. All right? Until they see they can walk in there with whatever fucking mouthpiece they want. Once they fuck up, you still going to the penitentiary. All right? I don't care who representing you. You fuck up the wrong way. All right? Listen, some of this shit, yeah, we fight and we beat with our money. But when them niggas in them cheap suits come knocking on your door at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, Mr. Thomas, we need to talk to you. And you thinking, well, I'm fine. I ain't got nothing in here. And they don't even search that motherfucker. They already got everything they need. They don't need nothing but you now, nigga. The investigation over. See, they used to talking to them niggas that it don't take no investigation to lock them up. They locked that nigga up in 15 minutes. It took a 10-minute investigation to lock that nigga up. The niggas in the uniforms locked most of them niggas up. Okay, listen, they in the fucking way. All right? Listen, most of these rappers is dumb niggas. Dumb niggas. Niggas that couldn't think their way out of a wet paper bag. That's most of them rappers. All right, that's why they do dumb shit like this. Most of them rappers, see, they ain't really been out here. When you really been out here and really had to get it, and you really from nothing, you appreciate it, family. You appreciate it. Family, I'm 51 years old. I'm from the trenches. I've been in it all my life. I got it out the mud. It's just me and my son. Okay, you think I ain't proud that I live in my triplex? Yeah, bro, he on the second floor. He don't even bother me. I never hear him. He a gamer. All right, he a straight A student. All right, he on the honor roll. Because I demand it. I don't take fucking excuses. I pay too much. I don't want to hear that shit. You're going to get it right and you're going to do it my way. Because I got to lead him into the future. He cannot be a Lil Durk. Walking around letting his feelings lead him and never understanding he going to have to lead one day. I ain't going to be fucking taking care of that nigga. He getting the fuck out of here. All right, one day. Preferably soon. You know what I'm saying? He about to be 15 years old. He my youngest son. My oldest son gonna be 18 this year. You know what I'm saying? I got bros running to me talking about they want to have babies. You better get the fuck out of here. I ain't raising no more kids. That's it. All right, because his mom passed in 2021, family, it been me and him. You know what I'm saying? Look, he the last one. I'm getting him through school. Boom. Once my job done, Dominican Republic. Miami, Dominican Republic, might do some time in Nigeria, will do some time in Nigeria because I heard it's really beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely need to get over there and spend some time. But look, see, that's how I'm planning my future. You know how Durk planning his future with all he had? Well, all he had, he turned it into nothing like that. With all Young Thug had, he almost turned it into nothing like that. He begging to get back in Atlanta so he can turn it into nothing again like that. This nigga begging to go back into the Lions Den. He don't know what he did to them. Yo, they charged him with a RICO and had to let him go on TV. They don't give a fuck that he on probation. They had to let him out of jail after they said he did all of these treacherous things. They had to let him walk out of there. You know what he did to them? Do he know what he did to them? He trying to get back in Atlanta. That tell me his father can't talk to him. His father can't talk to him because for real, he his father. You can't talk to no nigga that take care of you. That's impossible. That's why you can't talk to Diddy when Diddy take care of you. If I take care of you, nigga, you can't tell me shit. That's why I don't have niggas around me that I take care of. You can't hang around me because you no good to me if I gotta take care of you. You understand where I'm coming from? I run with the winners. I hang in the winner circle. You take that loser shit somewhere else. See, losers got excuses. Winners got progress. I don't got no excuses. My son, he try to bring me excuses. Nigga, no. You know how much I pay for you? Nigga, no. Do you know how much you cost? You will not bring me an excuse. You will bring me progress. I don't want to hear that shit. Get out of your feelings and get the job done. See, that's what happened to most of our youth. They ain't used to being checked because they grew up around women. So when a man check them, they get in their feelings. And then the police end up doing something crazy to your son because your son stay in his feelings because he don't have no men around him checking him. So the first time men start checking him, he in his feelings. He got a resentment for men. The resentment that mama gave him. That resentment that she got for him. He stay in his feelings. And most niggas that stay in their feelings stay in a penitentiary. I promise.
4 times per year. Young Thug's attorneys aren't the only ones filing motions. Attorneys for Diamante Kendrick, also known as Yak Gotti, are asking for bond. Kendrick was found not guilty last week, but remains locked up for 2 cases, one for contraband and the other a jail fight. The emergency motion cites the ongoing safety concerns at the Fulton County Jail and the recent findings from the U.S. Department of Justice about its conditions. Kendrick's hearing is set for next Tuesday.
Everybody understands that 901 Rice Street is an unsafe facility. Mr. Kendrick has a valid request that he be kept somewhere safe and that his fundamental constitutional rights should be satisfied.
In downtown Atlanta,
they could give a damn about your fundamental constitutional rights. None of that conditions. You ain't getting the fuck out of there until they say so. All right? Let me explain something to you. Everybody you know going to do everything they can to get to jail. And then when they get to jail, realize they can't be there. They too sick to be here. Like Diddy. You feel me? Do everything you can to get to jail. And then when you get to jail, you realize you can't be here. No. You going to be here. You know, you a millionaire, billionaire mogul. Guess what? You're going to have a nigga making $30 an hour telling you to lock the fuck in, nigga. Yeah, and you going to lock the fuck in too. Yes, you are. You know, you might get to make some extra phone calls and do some privileged shit like, you know, sneak an extra feel on the bitch and they'll turn their eye. The shit that, you know, normally a free nigga would bet you, it's going to be all that to you. All right, because you dumb and stupid and a fucking idiot. Let me tell you why Diddy going to end up getting forever in there. See, like me, if they come to me and I'm Diddy and they offer me 15, I'm taking it. I'm gone. All right, I'm getting the fuck out the way. But Diddy not going to do that. He just can't see himself being in there for 15 years. He don't understand that if you don't want to do the 15, you damn sure ain't going to want to do the 50. All right, like I understand. I already don't want to do the 15. So you know I ain't trying to do the fucking 50. Give me the 15. Lee, I can see the end of that. Not Diddy. He can't see the end of a 15 years in jail. To somebody that never been to jail before and never dreamed they would ever be in a cell, and he got all of this money, and all of these lawyers keep telling them how they gonna fight for him, and he got 4 or 5 of them, and they all charging him $10,000 an hour, $20,000 an hour. Meanwhile, he being sued out of his ass because he got all of these obligations that he obligated to fulfill that he can't fulfill because he in jail. They suing him. They gonna get their money. Ain't none of them victims getting no fucking money. That nigga going to jail broke. I mean, he gonna have some paper because he did it. And niggas gonna take care of him on the low. They just can't associate with him on the, you know what I'm saying? But niggas gonna always take care of Diddy. Diddy did a lot for the right people. The people he ain't fuck with, he ain't do shit for. That's how I go. Because Diddy got 1 million people around him all the time, who all of them think they should be rich because they know this nigga. And if a bitch ever gave him some pussy, he definitely owe her something. You better know it. If I got famous right now, do you know how many women I'll be talking about he groomed me, knowing I only knew her for 45 minutes? I just forgot to call her back. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's how I go when you live this life. You feel me? It was a fast life, family. I was running through them like the rest of us who was living this life. All right, we were sharing them. All right, it was just most of the niggas, it was cuffing season. We all cuffed 1 or 2, you know what I'm saying? Listen, that's how I go. You know what I'm saying? But if she on the scene, we was tagging her. That's how it was, because we was on the scene. And we fucked with the cuties on duty. And the cuties on duty, that's how we meet the ball players. She hook them up with me because I make sure they got their kid, that what they need. You feel where I'm coming from? Like, bro, that's how I go. We all live in this life. All right, and listen, ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody above catching the hiccup, bro. None of us. But the majority of us not thinking about being out here trying to ruin somebody, running a youngster. You in a car full of people with automatic weapons, riding through the streets, following a man who going about his business, not bothering nobody, trying to gun him down. You gun down his cousin. You from the ghetto in Chicago. You too stupid to know you in Beverly Hills. And if you do something right here, they gonna find you. You don't know that when you from the ghetto. And the furthest you ever been from 300 building is the penitentiary. Because that's the furthest OTF jam been from the west side of Chicago. Was when he got on that blue bus and went to prison. Until Durk flew him and the rest of them boneheads out to put in this work. You do anything with 6 niggas, I promise you going to the penitentiary. You do anything with 6 people, you going to prison. I promise you going to fucking prison, you dumbass. All right, listen. You ain't gotta be the smartest knife, sharpest knife in the drawer to know you get ready to get yourself into some dumb shit. All right, you don't. DJ, you go crazy.
Now I heard you mention church, and your preacher, your pastor, right? Tell us about that transition. Like how did you tap into your spiritual side?
Well, I've been in church all my life. Told you I wasn't never trying to be no gangster. So my whole family, we grew up in this one church. It's in Mechanicsville. When I was in the feds, I pled guilty to 5 years. And my preacher came to my sentencing and he was like, he spoke. And when he spoke to the judge, he spoke so highly of me that the judge was impressed. And she be like, you the first person to come in front of me that have a preacher here speaking on your behalf. And she was willing to release me that day. But I had signed for 5 years, so my federal defender, she had to stick with the plea agreement. Because if I would have said, we asked for time served, they can withdraw. So when he came and did it on my behalf, he didn't judge me from my past. He looked at me how he always looked at me. So I locked it in my mind. Once I got out of jail in 2019, I went to church, but not as much as I do now. Like right now, I don't miss a Sunday. And if I do, it's because something occurred that made me miss it. So,
Yeah, that's what's up. Can you give us an example or a situation in which like that was God? You know what I'm saying? Like something happened and it was God, it was only God type shit.
Oh, a lot of stuff. But the most scariest one was this Rico. They locked everybody up. Like people, who the snitching? Okay, say what y'all want to say, but the truth of the matter is, they didn't put me on the case. You know what I mean? I just thank God every day for that. Despite how,
because you weren't included with the 28 that were arrested, right?
I wasn't indicted on that period.
Right.
So it's just like, I don't know why, and I ain't questioning it either. I'm very thankful. I mean,
see, because the state don't know shit about trying to RICO. That's why I was so surprised they charged them with a RICO. Okay, because you know how much work go into a RICO. That's why states don't try RICOs. Okay, and they saw how much work went into a RICO. Actually, went into a RICO. It was too much. That's how they made him look stupid. If this was the federal case, oh, he would have been on that indictment. You can best believe he would have been on that indictment. And he would have copped out to everything. He would have never got a chance to do that. He could have tried that if he wanted. They would have sentenced his ass like he never said nothing at all. Okay? They would have oiled his ass up and lit his ass on fire. I promise you. He could have tried that shit in U.S. District Court if he wanted. They would have set an example out of him. They would have showed him how you gonna come in here and you think you gonna make us look silly. No, you ain't. They gonna show you and make you an example for everybody watching who will ever get an idea to do something as stupid as what Woody would have been doing in U.S. District Court. Because in U.S. District Court, he would have had already copped out the 900 years. Knowing that if he say anything crazy like that, he gonna get that fucking 900 years that he already copped out too. But if he stick to the script, he'll walk right out that fucking door. And he would have stuck to the script in U.S. District Court. But see, that's where they fucked up. In state court, because state don't try RICOs. They didn't put them on that indictment. Oh, in U.S. District Court, when the U.S. government would have charged everybody, he would have been on that fucking indictment. And he would have copped out to that indictment too before his ass hit that stand.
I feel like God just seen all I've been through about this whole situation and just kept me away from it or whatever. I don't know. But beside that, I had got into it with this guy that I know. And they was on the internet talking. And I had a fantasy. My fantasy was one of the crazy ones. I was going to set an example in front of everybody. And I had the opportunity to set an example. And once I tried to set an example to him in front of everybody, I was real possessed. I tried to shoot somebody in the club.
Family, for those of you who don't know, he just told you where they fucked up at. They didn't put him on the indictment. They never indicted him because he was their witness. In U.S. District Court, they would have never missed that. He would have got indicted with everybody else. Trust me. That's where they fucked up. They didn't indict him.
On the stage, and my gun didn't go off, and it's a Glock. Caught back, it didn't go off. I gave the gun to somebody else, it didn't go off. We got in the car, left. As we ran up Bankhead, I'm cussing dude out like, man, you got this gun, man. Ooh. I hear the window going down, and I hear, bah! And me and everybody in the car was just quiet. I swear, a tear just fell out my eye. Like, I don't know why, it just dropped. I wasn't saying no now. I was just like, what the world? Because I done heard people say they had a revolver, and I'm like, man, it's kept. But to actually happen on me, and no, I wasn't faking at that time, like, I'm going to do this fool. I was just like, it wasn't meant. You know what I mean? And there was an eye opener.
Yeah.
Everybody saw me. Like, the dude, brother pushed me off the stage. I was trying to get him. Yeah, man. But I was lost though, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I ain't proud of this stuff no more.
Right. Definitely hear a lot of maturity in your voice. One thing you used to be known for was like flashing your money all the time, right?
I'm still here. I couldn't fly without it here.
You do still flash your money.
Yeah, I'm definitely like, I like to flash. Because that's what motivate me. When I see Floyd Mayweather and them, when I see other people flashing their money, I be like, yeah, boy, I'll tell you, boy, I'm finna run it up just like him. You know what I mean? Like, it's for motivational purpose. It ain't to, think I'm to down nobody else. A broke person I think like that. You feel what I'm saying? So that would motivate me. I like watching Floyd and everybody who pop it like him.
Yeah. Now, has there ever been a time in which flashing your money got you into some situations?
Nah, man, I keep that thing on me. Yeah. Keep it on me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's
That's
up.
my back then, not now. You know, yeah.
They say that like that means something. I keep that thing on me. What the fuck do that mean? I keep that thing on me. What do that mean? Do that mean you can't die or something? Because they say shit like that means something. That don't mean nothing. Bro, I used to keep that thing on me. All right? And I ran into this dude one time and he said, yo, every time I see you, you got that thing. And I say, yeah, you know, it's a lot going on out here. You gotta stay ready. He's like, stay ready for what, yo? You for everything I know about you, you mind your business. I say, yeah, but that don't mean somebody else ain't minding my business too. He like, bro, if that's the case, that thing right there ain't gonna help you. He said, if you gotta bring that thing everywhere you go, you should stay in the house because you scared. He said, when somebody decide they gonna do something to you, it ain't gonna be nowhere near as hard as you think. Once somebody decide they gonna do that to you, you ain't gonna get a chance to use that once somebody decide that's what they gonna do to you. They ain't gonna tell you. They just gonna fucking do it. It ain't gonna be nowhere near as hard as you dumb niggas think. Once somebody got that on their mind and decide they gonna do it. It was like that dude out of Philadelphia, YBC Dog, Young Dog. When I seen what he did, I knew he ain't have long left. He went on no jumper, and Adam let him do that, knowing the fate he was going to suffer going back to Philadelphia. He really just went on no jumper and did that to his whole city, knowing he got to fly back to his city the next day. Yo, a couple days later, that young dude was out of here. He seen it. You seen what happened? A car just rolled by, slowed down, and kept on going, and he was out of here. Because it ain't gonna be nowhere near as hard as you think it is gonna be. You're gonna be out of here. He was talking about he needed to get his people out of the trenches on there. I was thinking, youngster, you ain't gonna get them out of the trenches. You ain't gonna make it. He was talking like he was gonna live while he was saying the stuff he was saying up there on no jumper. And Adam just let him say that stuff, knowing the fate that young brother was gonna suffer because he needed to fly back to Philadelphia. It's not like he could say that and stay in California, because if that was the case, he could have said that and lived. But no, he needed to say that, then fly back into the lion's den. And then he needed to live up to that. And I knew he couldn't live up to that because I know it ain't gonna be hard. All right? Once somebody decide they gonna do that to him, and trust me, after what he just said about each and every neighborhood, somebody decided they gonna do that to him. Out of all of them trenches, he said F besides his own, one of them guys decided they was gonna do that to him. And he died with that thing on him. Somebody just slowed down and let him have it. Because it's not going to be nowhere near as hard as you believe it's going to be. Once somebody decide that's what the fuck they going to do to you. So you might as well, look, bro, cut that Jesse James shit out. This ain't the Wild Wild West. All right, that's some bullshit. Get it off your mind. All right, once somebody decides you out of here and they really gonna do it, you gonna get your issue.
Yeah,
correction.
Cause like I tell you off camera, you know, when I first learned about you, that's one thing I saw for sure. You know, now in my opinion, I feel like niggas that be flashing their money be asking niggas to come take it. You know what I'm saying? I'm never flashing my bankroll.
Nah, when I'm flashing money, if women purposes on it, anything I do is for the women. A nigga ain't never in my sight. You know what I mean? Like I don't focus on niggas. So if I pull out some money, I'm telling nigga, oh, come on over here. But nah, I'm just playing. But now, if I pull out money and flash, let them know, yeah, we having it, we getting it.
I mean, I didn't see them pull out money and flash, and then there wasn't nothing but niggas around.
Get to it. Y'all broke over there. Y'all need to come on over here and get to it too. It ain't, yeah, because at the end of the day, if you around people and they win it, you ain't winning, you don't need to be around them. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I still want the kids to keep your bankroll in your pocket. Don't, you know.
It's okay to flex sometimes.
Sometimes. And if you go flex a bankroll, make sure.
See, Woody don't realize that everybody gonna be nice to him as long as they can beg him for something. Listen, Woody a ghetto nigga, and he don't understand that in the ghetto, you only all right as long as they can beg you for something. The minute they ain't gonna be able to beg you for nothing, it's gonna be fuck you.
You flexing your own, right?
Say it again.
I said if you are flexing the bankroll, make sure you flexing your own.
I can't hear you say it one more time.
I said if you are flexing the bankroll, make sure you flexing your own.
Make sure you flexing your who?
Flexing.
Your own bankroll? Come on, man. I can flex with a bankroll with me. Yeah, I'm going to spend it like it's mine.
When was the first time you was like touching some money? Like how old were you when you started hustling? Like what was your first hustle?
I'm from Canterville, you know what I mean? We gonna get it how we know. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell my first hustle on here because ain't no telling what them people got going on right there.
Right.
Yeah. But my first time, I got like, my first real money, to me, I got like 20,000 like this. I was geeked up off of it. It was over with. But I didn't let that situation draw me into those activities. You know what I mean? I just like, okay, I got this. I'm a smart person at an early age because I take my money and bring it to a certain person, like, hey, here, I got this right here. I need you to make it grow. And I keep a small portion and go out of here and do what I do with it, but that money growing. And I still doing other little things, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's definitely,
See, Lil Woody funny because he's smart enough to know he not smart. If you understand where I'm coming from, he's smart enough to know that he not smart and he need people to help him. You feel me? That's a good start. That's a great start because most niggas like Woody would never admit that. They won't. They would never admit that. All right, Woody's smart enough to know that he not smart. So he needs smart people to talk to people who he believes at least that's intelligent.
definitely a message that you got, you know what I'm saying, within yourself that these young niggas need to hear because they run in the streets without a clue. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, you feel me? Lately here on DJ UTV, you know, I've been talking to guys that's like in their early 20s. And we've had a couple guests that left us, you know what I'm saying, shortly after our interview. You know, they doing drugs, bro. You know what I'm saying? They just want to catch a body for real. Like this how they coming. You know what I'm saying? This what they rapping about in their music. You know, and I'll be trying to tell them like, man, it's only one or two ways you can go with that. You know what I'm saying? But with you, you know, having to spend so much time of your life. Today your birthday, you know what I'm saying? In and out the system, you know what I'm saying? In and out the jails, you know. Tell them how dirty it is in there, you know what I'm saying? Tell them how lonely it is in there, you feel me? You know, paint that picture for them, you know, when you got to wake up to another man taking the shit right up, you know, right next to your head, right?
Well, first of all, it starts with the pain that you cause it. You cause the pain on yourself. You sitting there want to blame everybody else for your actions. And that's where I just go wrong. Like my folks, I got locked up on my birthday for stealing the car. And my people left me in jail with a city boy for 5 days. I'm mad at them because I chose to ride in the stolen car. So
it's crazy, family, because Woody did what most dudes do. He just ended up having to do it on TV. Woody did what most dudes do. But it's a funny thing because most dudes like Woody, by the time they realize they should have done what Woody did, it's too late. they realize it's too late that the niggas that they got all this loyalty to don't have none of that loyalty to them. Woody just woke up before it was too late and realized that. Woody realized he wasn't never going to get shit from Thug. All right? And listen, that's the problem with giving your loyalty to people. You don't do that shit. Your loyalty got to come with a price, a number, bro. Because when you're doing it on the strength, you're going to be respecting that and expecting that in return. And when you don't get it, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be real disappointed. You're going to be mad. All right. And you're going to find, and it's most of the time you're going to be, because look, let me explain something to you. Like Jimmy Henchman, right? It's the product of some bonehead shit that what he did with Lodi Mack up in New York when Lodi slapped his son. All right, yo, you take 6 niggas, you go in the penitentiary. If 6 niggas get involved, you go into prison, I promise you. All right, listen. All right, look. The problem is this right here, right? You make a stupid decision to do something stupid, right? Like go and take a man's life. And you think that you just gonna keep on moving on with your life. Like you shouldn't have to pay for that. Like, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that you should be able to take somebody's life and keep going on about your life like you didn't do that? And then a lot of you niggas just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. So you think you should be able to just keep getting away with that and just keep living your life and waking up in the morning and going on about your life like you didn't do that. Get the fuck out of here. You dreaming. You going to the fucking penitentiary. Somebody gonna tell on you. Okay? So listen, somebody don't want to go. Always. Most of them don't want to go. Most of us don't want to be in a prison. Unfortunately, life circumstances, sometimes we end up. But I'm telling you right now, most dudes, when they get a way out, they take it. He ain't, if that don't surprise, nothing he done surprise me, shocking to me, alarming to me, or unexpected to me. I think he's smart. He not smart. He was smart enough though, wasn't he? He was smart enough though, wasn't he? He was smarter than you thought. He was smart enough to fool them into believing he was that stupid, and he wasn't.
Yeah, when I got to jail, I like, okay, I'm gonna show them when I get out. And I got back out with that wrong mentality. And I was just doing stupid stuff. Jail taught me that you ain't got no control. You got no say so. You gotta be forced to be around people you won't even ever be around. Like you said, you got people wake up, you got somebody taking the shit early in the morning, keep flushing the toilet, you gotta wait to get in the shower. Nigga been jacking all in the shower. Court, it's just so much, you know what I mean? And
family, that's prison life. See, that's the shit these dudes don't talk about when they sitting here telling you these prison stories. All right? They want to tell you these action-packed stories and all of this. No, that's not prison for real. All right? That shit is few and far in between. For the most part, you're going to be bored out of your mind and lonely as fuck, going through it in your mind, trying to figure out how to deal with what you're going through every day without going crazy. That's what they ain't telling you. That's why they want to get out so bad. Not because they having so much fun there. All right, that's a fucking dungeon. And if you ever been there, you know you don't want to fucking be there unless you belong there. Some niggas, unfortunately, just not going to be able to stay out of there. Not for no significant amounts of times in life. All right. Woody found a niche. All right, but outside of Woody finding a niche, he would have been one of those guys, unfortunately, who was always be in jail. He would be a jailbird. Okay, because the minute he gotta think, he going straight to jail. Because the minute he gotta think, he gonna get a gun.
I don't watch a boy, man. You know, he was living like this. He was doing this. He got out of jail, like came back for killing somebody, and he cried in my face. I'm looking at him. I'm still messed up in my head, but I'm looking at him like I gotta be strong for him. I don't even know this nigga. I just met him in jail. I gave him a hug and told him, "Shawty, look, pray." You feel what I'm saying? Cause even though they got him, they got everything they need on him, but God working mysterious ways. This same boy right here ended up going to trial and winning. And he got his life together.
That don't change the fact that most niggas go to trial and lose. Because a nigga went to trial and won don't change nothing. Most niggas go to trial and lose. Okay? Most niggas lose trial. Most niggas don't win. You hear me? Everybody want to talk about that nigga that won. Want me to tell you why? Want me to tell you why? Because they need some ray of hope. They need some ray of hope because they know they not going to get it right.
But I hugged him and I told him to pray and I prayed with him. These kids don't know that. You feel what I'm saying? They think it's cool. They like, let me be an example. If you don't want to use me for example, use somebody that been through that situation, that overcame it, that was able to get out of it, that's able to change. Like people like, oh, because he don't told on these people, or they don't did this to him, that he want to run their church. Nah, it's just that's the time person's eyes really was open. It ain't no girls in jail. Y'all don't hear laughing saying all these here. You don't want to kill somebody, then you got 40 years, you don't did 20. Now you the one with lipstick on your mouth. Now I mean, these same people you was talking about, now that's who you laying down with. They idolize the jail. They see these boys in jail with phones and taking. But that ain't it. I mean, that ain't it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It for sure ain't, you know. And even on the other side, once you gone, you gone. You know what I'm saying?
See, but the thing is with these young boys, right? They don't got nothing to do. Never time on their hand. Every thought that comes to their mind is how to be cool, how to fit in.
I don't know, to me, I hope Lil Woody got himself together. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Time will tell, right? Do two things, heal and reveal. That's what time do. Okay, listen, time always separate the winners from the losers. The niggas who got excuses from the niggas who gonna make it happen. And we got 4 extra up next, fam.
You're a UFC fighter. You have rules in there. When you get knocked out, they tap on the thing and say, hey, stop, don't knock him out no more. It's over. Don't kill him, man. In jail, when you get knocked out in there, you got 20 people behind you talking about, kill him. Kill him. Stomp on his head. Kill him. See, that's the difference what I'm trying to tell him. What he's just trying to do, he's so pressured up. When you know, if you ever see somebody pressured and you talk to somebody and y'all already had heated words before and y'all get in front, he really don't know what to say, so he starts stuttering, over talking you, and then he talking like it's uneducational. So you like, damn, what the f you saying? Like, let one of us talk real quick. You know what I'm saying? He get to sweating, he get to talking and shit. Like now he's saying shit that he ain't even supposed to be saying. So he understand like he have to pump himself up to go in the ring with you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in life, no matter where you at around this world, when you fight, you think about what you about to do to him. You say, everybody is a winner in their head, no matter what. And I don't take that from nobody because I'm always going to be a winner in my head.
Bro, listen to this dude, bro. I mean, like, to me, he is the prototypical psychopath. All he talk about is prison, jail. He equate everything to jail. What jail? Why is a fight so important to him? Listen to how deep he is about a fight. This a grown man. That's not a little child, a little boy. You would be able to understand this coming from a little kid. This is a grown-ass adult middle-aged man who talking about he can fight like somebody would ever give a fuck. Like, yo, he talking about jail and the pressure of a fight. Like he in high school and the nigga want to kick his ass after school. That's how this dude talk. Like, bro, is he serious? This a grown ass nigga.
Win, lose, or draw. So this is the point, though. When a person is nervous of a person, you have nervous and you have confident people that's gonna go in there and really squab you and put you out. You got some real fighters. When a person is,
I'm sorry, family. Excuse my language. That's a grown brother. I'm gonna get that right. I promise. I straight up, I promise.
nervous, you get to saying shit that you don't even mean, that you don't even know what the fuck you saying. So when you get there up there speaking, you're like, what is he saying? What is he talking about? You get what I'm saying? You don't even know what he's talking about. Now he just talking just to talk. You get what I'm saying? And you nervous. You don't know how this fight about to go. The reason why you heard me and the reason why you want to fight me is because you heard about me putting stuff out. So this is the point. I never heard of you. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying? I never heard of you.
See, now he gotta live up to that shit he been talking. And niggas wanna fight him everywhere he go. And he don't want, because nigga, you know you ain't about all that shit. Because ain't nobody that tough. Nobody, family. Nobody that fucking tough. But he don't get that they believed him. Now they wanna prove that he ain't tough. All right, because he don't understand it's one of him everywhere he gonna go. Soon as he leave 40 and Vernon, where he think that's the world. No, that's his world because his world's small. But when the world open up, he see how many niggas think just like him, that he ain't tough. All right, I'm tougher than him. And now everywhere he go, somebody want to fight him. And now it's who is you? When at first, remember, he would fight anybody. You guys squabble everybody, all 30 of them. Now it's who is you? Who have you fought? Who is now? It's all of this. But just, you know what I'm saying? Before Adam gave him $400 for this shit, and he was eating noodles and tuna fish out of his cabinet in the kitchen. And you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you right fucking now. All right, listen, this dude claimed the fame is that he can fight and that he go to jail and that he stay in jail. He think he gets some credit for being a 40 Crip that can do that. The world don't give him no credit for that, family. He just the monkey in the cage. See, he believe Adam audiences dudes like him. No, Adam audiences dudes like Adam, who came to watch the monkey in the cage. They ain't gotta buy a ticket. All they gotta do is pull up to No Jumper and watch Adam control the monkeys in the cage. You feel me? Because they don't want to be nowhere near animal like 4 Extra. All right? Why you think to 4 Extra, he think it's the end all be all to the world, and he really believe it means something to Adam to come to Vernon Avenue, where he from, 40 Crip, because he with him. He really believe that means something to Adam. Adam will never come back there. It ain't nothing to see there. Nigga, it's something to see there to you because that's all you got. But it ain't nothing to see there. If you live there, trust me, he don't want to be nowhere near it.
You get what I'm saying? I never heard of you. You brought him up to me and I just seen you get on the thing. But see, that's the point. You heard of me though. You heard Off the Back. You heard Vernon Avenue. You heard Chris on the Fig. And you heard me knocking stuff out. So you heard of me. So on Glove Game, that tells you something. That speaks real value. Because wherever you at, you heard of me there.
Where's the glove come from?
The glove? Oh,
yeah, see, now them niggas want to fight him. Now he got all these excuses. Ain't nobody never heard of him. They heard of me before. He was taking he was taking all comers, wasn't he? The Django, what you talking about? The Django off the chain. The Django said time is a weapon, hail and reveal. I like that. Yeah, the Django. The Django said He institutionalized. Can't figure out how to control making the world better. No, he can't contribute nothing. You know what I'm saying? The Django off the chain said before it was anybody. Yeah, straight up. Look, bro, look, family, we gotta get it together. We gotta do better than support a nigga like this, bro. His claim to fame is that he go to jail and that he can fight. That's a grown-ass man. And I don't want, because you know, as you can see, they want to fight him. So you got our kids aspiring to be a full extra. Why? Because he got famous doing this dumb shit. Now, and you know they gonna take whichever route they think the easiest. This, how easy can you get? A jailbird that could get on TV and talk about the pressure of getting ready to have to fight as a grown-ass man? Yo, who the fuck is worried about that? As a grown man, you supposed to have kids to feed, all right, bills to pay. You gotta keep a roof over their head. You ain't got time to be worrying about no fucking feed. Nigga, you do grown man shit when you your age, all right? That's some shit I would expect my 15-year-old son to be talking about. And me telling him, look, you gotta lock in and focus. All right, that's some dumb shit. All right, that ain't gonna get you nowhere. All right, but he ain't have no men in his life. He only had women who screamed at him. All right, screamed at him so bad that he wanted to get away from her. So bad he went to jail.
You know, got the point where he got the symbol 1, 2, 3, 4 with the 0 with the ball. The ball's the 0.
Oh, okay.
4 fingers, 4 0, 4 0.
Yeah, I don't want to do it, but I see you like spread all your fingers apart as much.
Yeah.
As, it's like you throw. I'll blur it, but it's like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't gonna blur that.
I'm not gonna do it, but that's just, I just wanted to. Cause I'm trying, kind of like paying attention when I was out there and seeing what everybody's putting up there.
And that's another thing. We've been talking so long. We ain't even talk about the
at all.
Listen, I bet you anything that the women think he is so sexy. I bet you anything that they think that, right? I bet you that nigga probably had 13, 14 baby mamas, even though they know that nigga can't stay out of jail for 5 minutes. Okay, listen. They'll talk about niggas ain't shit and he a deadbeat and he in jail where he always at. But they had a baby by that nigga, knowing he always in jail. All right, but he a built-in excuse. That's what he is, a built-in excuse for him. All right, they know he a natural-born loser. That man can't win. The minute he gotta think, he going straight to jail. That's why he be so obedient to Adam, because he can come up here and beg him for something. As long as Adam let him beg him for something, he ain't gotta worry about having to think. You understand where I'm coming from? Bro, some of us just like that. Like, they stay in jail because the minute he got to think, he going to jail. That's why I tell you it's a difference between a jailbird and a street nigga. A street nigga implies that you, for the most part, in the street. All right, a jailbird means for the most part you in jail. A jailbird is usually in jail. A street nigga, he usually in the street. He usually free. You feel me? It's not the same thing. You feel me? You gotta be able to think to be a street nigga. All right? You don't have to be able to think to be a jailbird. You a jailbird because you can't think. That's full extra.
About me going to your hood. So, okay, how was that from your perspective? See, I had a great time.
My perspective is this. See, the cold part about it, this were my whole hood scene. When you came there, that's a Vernon Avenue. Whoever watches this motherfucker, when he came there, you know how some niggas be nervous when they in the nigga hood. Because, like, you in the hood in the trenches. In L.A., remember I told you, I said, when they watch this, they're going to be like, oh, he was in the trenches. Like, he where it's happening at, where it's cracking at.
Right.
That street is where it's cracking at. So, I'm like, you got to think about this. First off, you ain't been in no areas,
This dude really believed that Adam would want to be somewhere like a war zone like that. No, bro, let me tell you where Adam want to be. All right? He want to be on the beach where beautiful women at, where that bullshit that's going on Vernon Avenue ain't on nobody mind. He want to be so far away from that bullshit, you wouldn't believe it. He with you what we call work. All right? You product Okay, he package, deliver, and sell you to his audience. His audience is a bunch of guys like him who came to watch the show. And nigga, you the show. You and Vernon Avenue and 40 Crip. Okay, because he the only white boy that can come to 40 Crip because he the only one crazy enough. All right, to go with your broke ass. Okay, you ain't nobody. And if somebody wanted to do something to him, nigga, you couldn't stop him.
Gang areas. This is the first time you going in the gang infested area in LA South Central and really walking, shutting the street down. Over there in the trenches where it's cracking at. So you not even nervous. That's the thing that made me so sick, because you wasn't nervous. That's some dead. Oh, this nigga not nervous. The nigga talking about go get the bottle. Niggas is going up. Niggas slapping ass. I'm like,
bro, you only, let me tell you something about this tough shit. You only as tough as the last nigga let you get with him. That's as tough as you are. All right? You think because you got that shit off with the last nigga, you gonna get that shit off with the next nigga. No, bro. No. See, let me tell you something. The fact that he's still alive, I know he don't really try that shit that's coming out his mouth. That's why he got all these excuses when a nigga want to fade him. All right, now everywhere he go, he getting smoked. Niggas want to see what's up with him, right? That's the price of talking this shit. You feel where I'm coming from? Because look, you got a bunch of niggas that's just like him. They looking for any kind to come up. They believe this broke ass nigga is shining. See, when they in the ghetto, they doing so bad that they believe he a star. They believe he shining. They believe he getting it. Man, Adam gonna give him about $400 or $500 and tell him to get the fuck on about his business, and he gonna be happy. He gonna be happy. Let me tell you why. Because he know he couldn't generate nothing like that on his own. Okay, he one of them niggas that'll be doing 19 years over $70. He'll be doing 19 years over $70. Yeah, that's $4 extra. Niggas, grown ass nigga, stealing out of 7-Eleven. That's the kind of shit he do. Wherever he at, you can bet he doing something stupid. That's why he stay in jail. He can't think. All right, he can't take care of himself. He gotta get with one of them chicks who get a check.
nigga, this nigga acting like he one of us. You on the block, so that's why when you with the homies, nigga pushing police, pass by, nigga throwing up gang signs.
Right.
That's what I'm like. See, that's the point. Most people be nervous.
I'm gonna be real with you. I spent so much time outside riding BMX bikes for all those years that it kind of conditioned me to just assume that everything was gonna be all right.
Oh, let me clear this up. Stop saying, whoever said, nigga, after he left, nigga, 3 bodies got dropped. Nigga, ain't no motherfucking bodies got dropped.
I asked Wack about that yesterday. He admitted that he got the story wrong yesterday.
Yeah, all right. Wack, all right, big homie. All right, big homie. All right, big homie. You my boy.
Wack is a blood. He is a Crip. And he is referring to Wack as his big homie. That's why I be telling you, listen. The minute you get on there and represent it like that to the rest of us, that shit look fake. And you can't tell us nothing after that. All right, once I see that you're full of it with this shit ain't real. Okay? Because from what I know of the Bloods and Crips, he is a Crip and Wack 100 is a Blood, and he could never refer to Wack 100 as his big homie. So he just got on here and done that, and you still really can respect that? You for real? Listen, me, I'm from none of that stuff. But what I'm telling you is that when you ain't from none of that stuff, you know it don't really mean nothing. It only apply to them suckers that you can make it apply to. Because like I just told you, you only as tough as the last nigga let you get with him. Because evidently you ain't get tough enough if he ain't get you going. Because you come get tough with some of these niggas, they gonna get your ass going. All right, ain't nobody ever gonna have to worry about you getting tough with them again. You only as tough as the last nigga let you get with him. You need to remember that. All right, you ain't tough, bro. You ain't that tough. Everywhere you go, everywhere I ever been, hood to hood, block to block, backyard to yard, ghetto to ghetto, they all think they tough. That shit ain't gonna change. All right, niggas is gonna be niggas. They broke and tough. That's what they gonna be. Why? Because they don't do shit. And when you don't do shit, all you got is tough. What else you got? They impress the girls with. That's it. You tough. You better get you some muscles. Go to jail. You know where they gonna feed you 3 times a day? Because you know if you stay out here free, you know you ain't gonna eat 3 times a day. You know you ain't gonna have a shore bed with heat and shit. So he rather with free toilet paper. And all the fixings. He want to be in jail, family, where they got free toilet paper and all the fixings, you know. He clicked them lights, they just come on. See, when he get out, when you click them lights, they don't just come on until you paid that bill. And then he realized that, oh shit, see, when you get out of jail, people will be cool and understanding for a couple of weeks. But then they gonna start wanting to know where yours at. That's where the problem come in with him. Now he gotta do something. The minute he gotta do something, he going back to jail where he ain't gotta do nothing. You feel me? All he gotta do is make it to the phone and beg people. Cause he in jail. Remember, that's the ultimate excuse for not having to be shit. You in jail. You know what I mean? And some niggas go to jail so much, you know they don't mind being in jail. He in jail more than he free. All right, and we all know a bunch of niggas, that's 4 extra. That's his claim to fame. He go to jail when he can fight, and that's a grown-ass man.
He's trying to spook me. He's trying to scare me.
Don't do it. Don't do that, nigga. You know ain't nobody jumping.
Because he's telling me like
we doing the dropping.
When he told me that, he's telling me as if like, yo, you can't be doing that shit anymore because when you go out there, it makes the ops so jealous or so like aware of the situation that then they decide to pull up and do crazy shit and it's gonna get blamed on you. Well, but he doesn't realize I was on the phone with you 10 minutes before he called me, and you're happy as you're not mentioning anything bad. As soon as he tells me that, I'm thinking in my head like, nah, because there's no way 4 Extra wouldn't know, and there's no way 4 Extra would be in a happy mood.
I'm on a block every day, so you got to think about it like this, bro. You get what I'm saying? First off, if they want to put,
bro, he really don't know this dude is mocking him. He really think this dude respect any of this shit. He really don't know that this dude is mocking him and making a fool of him. Because I can't believe that he know that. And he's still playing along with this. Bro, I'm broken up for this guy, man. That this motherfucker, that this Adam guy, man. This Adam guy, yo, my father always told me, find a fool, fool him. Bro, he found a fool, and he fooling him. Bro, and I wish the brother would wake up and get past that $400 or $500 and see it ain't worth what he look like and what he do to us as black men when he get up here and act like that.
pull up, do some pull up.
Yeah.
Pull up. I love to make somebody's mama get a phone call. We love doing that. That's the best thing Vernon Ave love doing. Farmers get the phone call. Come identify your son. Is this your son, ma'am? Is this? We love that. You get what I'm saying? So, glove love. You know what I'm saying? Pull up. We're not telling you not to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody welcome. Come on. Well, at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You see what? We shut down Vermont. Went off the bat. And a video coming soon. It's coming this week. What? It's about to drop every platform off the bat. Vernon Ave, what? You know you got Adams up there slapping ass, going crazy, in a set. You just made history. You just hit the hood where it's cracking at, and you not, what's that? You talking about popping bottles. You out there like the homies marching down Vermont. You know how many people want to do that in life?
You know what my favorite quote from that girl was? She said, she goes, I went to private school. I can't believe it. I never did anything like this before. I was like, whoa, what the kind of quote is that?
You know
like, what private school we talking about here? Yo.
You know what I tripped off of? I swear, when I watched it, you said, one day you shaking ass on 43rd and Vermont, and the next, you shaking it for Future.
That's what I told her. Gas her up.
Gas her up.
You're going places from here. This is just the beginning. This is just the start. That's just the start. Yo, but all right. The other thing that really stood out to me is that, so at one point we're filming the video, we start marching down the main road. There's probably 50 cars backed up behind us.
Adam know he ain't right.
We all marching and rapping
It's
into the
like
camera,
200
whatever.
people out there.
And I said, I'm like, yo, like, where are the cops at? And as soon as we finish filming the scene and we all get back onto the sidewalk, the cops drive by. Beep, 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 beep. They no hate. They don't pull over. They don't say nothing. They fully ignore probably 100 motherfuckers who are all stomping through here. They realize this is not the fight that they want to pick. They're going to let you do your thing.
And at the end of the day, they know about the hood, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They know about the hood. They know about the set. They know they ain't about to jump out and just do anything they want to the set. That's cool. You're police. You're here to protect the community and all that. Well, the community ain't doing nothing. But, you know, the only thing the community doing is building up the community. We wasn't out there causing rugged. We wasn't out there hurting people. We wasn't out there causing violence. We was out there making a video for the community, for everybody from the West Coast. If you wanted to come, you know what I'm talking about? You was a body, and we was doing our thing. So you know what they did? They hit their lights.
Family, this dude really can't understand why people feel like when gangbangers around, it's a problem. He really don't get it. That the world not ever gonna respect that shit. Okay, in the ghetto, they fear that shit. They don't respect it. They don't have a choice. If they don't have nowhere else they can go, they gotta deal with it. They gotta deal with a nigga like you. You just don't understand it. You came to believe that they don't mind and that they like it. They don't, man.
And they kept going.
But
they didn't know what he's out there doing.
Realistically, what are they going to do? Even if there's two cops in the car, what are they going to do? There's like 100 people. They need 10 cars to pull up if they want to even begin to make a dent in what's going on
There's
here.
over 200 some people out there. The only thing they wanted to do is hit the lights and say, "Hey, put us in the video, probably."
Right. Man, that's funny. But like, okay, so when you're hanging out on that corner, is that like a normal corner where we could find you posted up on a regular
Well, you
basis?
ain't gonna see me right there,
You're always
posted.
moving around,
Well,
right?
yeah, I'm always moving around. So you got to think, my hood is from Crenshaw to Fig, 49th to King. We got a big area. Probably one of the biggest black areas in South Central. You know what I'm saying? We got a big area. So I'm all through there. You get what I'm saying? But you know, that's the block, that's the set. That's what I say. And that's the dark side. You get what I'm saying? That's the dark. That's the dark. When you ask about the photo, you know we got 4 sides. You got avenues, Westers, Park, dark. You get what I'm saying? 4 sides make the hood. You get what I'm saying? That's the dark side we was in right there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We call that, you know, the grimy side, you know, arc side. Park dark right there.
Okay.
It's like the grimy side right there. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's why when people seen that, they're like, he's in the trenches. He's right there in the trenches. He's right there where it's cracking. He right there. I can't even walk down that street. And he walking down Vermont in the street, shutting down traffic. Oh, he on.
All right, so Wack got it wrong about the idea that a bunch of people got killed. But my question is, Wack also made the point. He said, 4 extra, viral as famous as all of a sudden. Typically, when a rapper blows up out of their hood and they stay in the hood.
Well, if he blew up and he famous as fuck, why you only give him $400 or $500? Why? Because you knew he ain't blew up. You know he ain't famous as fuck. You know he local as they get. And that's why you give him $400 or $500, because he can't demand nothing. He can only beg. He ain't reached the point where he can demand nothing. He can only beg you to be able to keep coming around so he can keep doing this. So you can give him a couple dollars so he ain't gotta go to jail. That's what all of this shit about.
Is not the best result. What's your reaction to that? Are you planning on perhaps moving somewhere that's a little bit?
See, family, that's how much he really like going to jail and having to run all them fades. That's what he gotta do to stay out of jail. Cause he don't like going to jail, having to run all them fades. But he don't know how to stay out of there. He can't think. That's what happened when you never learned how to think. All you ever did was follow people.
More laid back, not being in the middle of the chaos. You could still swing by, you could still show love, you could still make moves, but you're a little bit ducked off.
First off,
I don't know your situation.
First off, I ain't got to live in my hood to be in my hood.
Oh, so you have already potentially...
I ain't got to live in the hood because I've been living in my hood since day one, since a kid. Born and raised there. So you got to understand this part. My roots is there. I've been there since a kid. It don't matter if I move to Nova Scotia, I'm still there. Vernon Avenue, I'm never going to leave the hood. I'm always going to be in the hood every day. I'm never going to go Hollywood. A million people run up to me like, why you ain't got a bodyguard? Why you ain't doing this? Then you walk around here like you just still regular. I ain't.
Bro, you ain't got a bodyguard because you ain't nobody. All right? You don't need a bodyguard. They know you ain't got shit. All right? Listen, they know you ain't got much more than you been having. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't gonna get much more than you've been having. Family, look, this is an example of everything you don't want to be. This is a failure. This is a man who never planned to do shit, so this is something big. Okay? Don't get it twisted. He don't represent the brothers. I love him. I hope he get himself together, but I don't know, family. All right? Listen, as always, it don't take much to be nice. We all gotta live on this planet together, walking in and out of each other's space. Respect is important. All right, listen, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Share the program if you will. I love you, family. 8:30 every night. You know what I'm saying? And on the whims, you know I do these. I love you, family. Thanks for pulling up and spending your time with me. Until next time, 8:30 tonight, family.